Back again with another music video reaction. My name is Josh. Thanks for checking out the channel. If you click the thumbnail, you're here to check out more from Oliver Anthony. So if you're unfamiliar with Oliver Anthony, he is a guy that burst onto the scene, it had to be a couple weeks ago now, 2-3 weeks, something like that. And if you're unfamiliar with his story, it's pretty amazing. I mean, he and his family are from Virginia, and not a very well-to-do part of Virginia. And he sang a song that was literally about his struggles with a lot of different things, and it just really caught fire, touched base with so many different people across so many different demographics, different parties, like all that political stuff, everything, but also around the world. Like, there are so many people that have commented on my video, as well as so many other people reacting to everything and talking about it. I mean, it just went from like an unknown song to literally #1 on, like, I'm not sure if it was all the charts or just the country charts or whatever it was, but literally from like 0 to kablamo. I think I read somewhere that it was like that's never happened before, from going to completely like unknown to being #1 and all these things. So it's definitely been something pretty interesting, but he's also been able to put out like a song a week almost so far. So, and I've really enjoyed the other ones that I've heard. I mean, I think I've heard Virginia was another song, as well as I Want to Go Home, which was also pretty somber, kind of in line with Richmond, north of Richmond. So today we're going to be checking out the 90-something Chevy, and I'm not exactly sure if it's going to be on par with some of the other topics he's been talking about. The song Virginia was actually, seemingly, if I remember correctly, kind of just a happier song about living in simple times and being happy with where you are. Let's see what this one's about. I'm excited, though. His voice is something that's so unique. I mean, obviously the content of what he's talking about is very unique, and I think it draws a lot of people in, but you originally get caught and hooked by his voice and the simplicity of the instrument that he's playing, the dobra, I believe you guys have told me also in the comment section. Appreciate that. Let's do it.
That old darling of mine is like a 90-some Chevy. She rides just right when you turn her on. The only thing sounds better than that old 350's when she's running up to kiss me. When I get home, it's been a hard day. I'll tell you, darling, it's been a long week. Might have to load up the dogs, go and listen to the frogs croaking down in the creek. We can take her nice and slow, a case of beer and a Zemco. Let the sun sink good and low. There ain't no telling where we'll go in the back of that 90-some Chevy. In the back of that 90-some Chevy. She's hotter than hell, I'm higher than gas. She's sweeter than honey, I'm poor white trash. She ain't had a check that I couldn't cash. I guess that she's my Carter, that I'm her cash. And I've been sitting around drinking on it. I guess I'm gonna have to get me a ring and get it on it. 'Cause that old darling of mine is like a 90-some Chevy. She rides just right when you turn her on. The only thing sounds better than that old 350's when she's running up to kiss me. When I get home, it's been a hard day. I tell you, darling, it's been a long week. Might have to load up the dogs, go and listen to the frogs croaking down in the creek. We can take her nice and slow, a case of beer and a Zemco. Let the sun sink good and low. There ain't no telling where we'll go in the back of that 90-some Chevy. In the back of that 90-some Chevy. That old darling of mine's like a 90-some Chevy. She rides just right when you turn her on.
Alright, so that was Oliver Anthony with 90 something Chevy. And kind of like I was talking about, this was a little closer to like the Virginia song where he's definitely touching on a couple of the topics that kind of vaulted him into superstardom, if you will, about the challenges of just the average working person's life, but it kind of focuses on what to do about it. I mean, he focuses on his loving darling, apparently, which is a very important person to him, that is very close to also as important as his 90-something Chevy, which I actually have heard, I believe, a story about his 90-something Chevy where it's like 300,000 miles or something on it, but very dependable, very reliable. So I think it's something that he values greatly, much like his darling. So that, but then also just the returning to nature. You know, I'm going to go listen to the frogs and go listen to the crickets, and the music itself does just kind of harken back to that simpler time. I mean, I think that's the folky kind of bluegrass style that it really, at least with me, kind of makes me think of that, just relaxing, being in nature or being in the wild, so to speak, and then just kind of not worrying about everything else in the world that's really crushing down, even though it's still there. We know that, but you've got to survive, you got to live, and you have to be happy for what you're doing while you're doing. But this was a very, very good song. I mean, more or less, it's just a love song, and I actually wasn't expecting that, but really, really like it. His voice is just very, very, very entrancing and just kind of relaxes me out anyway. So, I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. This one was actually pretty high on my list of his favorite songs. I mean, granted, I've only listened to, I think, 4. But as far as not being super, super serious about heavy topics, it's just pleasant. I like that. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. Don't forget, like, share, subscribe. Go to the subscribe button if you would. That'd be fantastic. And as always, you're awesome. Peace out.